Sound check. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Um, it's very challenging because I am supposed to record all of our video lectures as required by USCIS. So that camera should be recording, hopefully, but it's supposed to follow the movement, but it's not. Well, anyhow, well, this is week. This is our second week. However, we will be covering the first week's lecture on business law. So, do you have access to your LMS? No? You don't have access to your LMS? Yes. How come? Your LMS is your learning management system, so that is wcuoc.classy. Okay. You don't have access to it yet. What's your name? Suji Kim? You should be able to have access, Suji. See, you have access. Oh, so you're enrolled in the Orange County classes, right? Are you staying with the Orange County classes or are so you want to be enrolled in the South Bay classes and in the OC class? Okay, hang on. That will be very challenging. Which one is your? Which one are these? Are your OC classes? Are you enrolled in this one? Oh, spring. So you don't have. Hang on. Let me just help you out. Give me a second. So you submitted your enrollment, right? And you are here, OC BABA, correct? OC, this one, Suji. Which one? This one. Okay. Let's see if I can edit this. So you have these two. One online, one on campus. Okay. No. Okay. Let me see if I can enroll you. See, I cannot enroll you as a new student. Is this your correct address, Suji? I mean, hang on. Suji Kim. SP 2510267. Correct. Hmm. Just give me a second.
I think after class is better than
Oh, no, no. That's okay. I'm just gonna, so that I can enroll you now. Yes. Otherwise, if I'll do this after class, you won't be able to pick up the lectures because I'm not quite sure if I can.
I just want to know if I submit I take the one class is I mean the here
Here, yes.
and then
I will do my best.
okay.
Okay. Okay. Hang on,
And
Suji.
then nobody asked me about the tuition fee. So
The tuition fee?
yeah, how can
Ah, that one you asked Rika. You asked Rika about it.
okay.
Yes. Okay. Suji, can you please check if you can see the classes? Okay. Okay, so you're now enrolled. Okay. That's one out of the way. Okay. Okay. Yes. You have your name. Marcelo, you are with us. Can you not see your class? Yeah. Yes, you are in this class, Marcelo. Okay. So business law. Okay, upon successful completion of business law, students will be able to identify and explain the sources of law and the structure of the U.S. legal system, including its constitution, statutory, administrative, and case law. They will be able to analyze essential elements of legally enforceable contracts and apply contract law principles to real world business solutions. Wow. So, business law is a very, very big and wide topic. In fact, there are two quarters for business law. There's business law 1 and there's business law 2. I do not want to go into the specifics of law and legal implications because that will be too much information. And you are not planning to become lawyers. So eventually, if there are any issues with your company, hire a lawyer. But at least with business law, you will be able to understand what your lawyer is trying to explain to you. Okay? So if you go to lecture 1, there is a lecture video that I uploaded by Professor Alex Bruno of UCLA. It's a very interesting lecture. But if you go to the slides, let's open the slides. So the content for the first week is basically fundamentals of business law, the legal concepts, and the application in business. Okay. Why business law is important? Question 1. Because if you do not know, you make mistakes, which is very good. Apart from that. Which is also another very correct answer. Everything in business needs to be set up with a law. And if you do not follow the law, you will make mistakes. Now, if these mistakes are okay, that's fine. But in the law, mistakes will cost you money. Correct? And in business, what do? Do you make money or do you spend money? Huh? Both? But I mean, like, if you're a businessman, what do you want to do more? To make money, right? To make profit. Now, you don't set a budget for a penalty. When you make your business financials, do you create there a section penalty? Do you create? No, you don't create a section for penalty. In fact, if you will be penalized by the government for breaking a law, you will put that expense as an unexpected expense. Correct? For example, you drive, right, Marcelo? Now, do you put that in your monthly budget over speeding ticket? Do you have that in your budget? You don't include that in your budget, right? Illegal parking ticket fee. Do you put that in your budget? No. Because you do not want to break these laws. But if you do not have any idea, then you will have a big problem and a big chance of making these mistakes and breaking the law. For example, I will give you myself as an example. I tried to stop my car, put it on hazard, you know, the blinking lights, because I went to the ATM. And I said, okay, I know this is it's breaking the law if you stop on the red, like on the red line on the side of the street, right? But I know that's illegal parking is $98. Okay? I said, if somebody will catch me, that will be $98. But what are the chances that somebody will catch me? You know, like I'm just going to go to the ATM, get money. It will be less than 1 minute. So I did stop, went to the ATM. When I came back, the police was already there. And then he issued me a ticket. Do you know how much my ticket was? It's not $98. It's $498. And I said to the officer, Officer, isn't this too much? Illegal parking is $98. And he said, yes, illegal parking is $98. But stopping and parking on a bus line or on a bus stop is for yes. See? So now you know that if you want to do an illegal stop, it's only $98. But if you stop a bus stop, it's $498.
But that $98 more $400.
Which one?
So two tickets. Because at the one the $89, $98, and the bus stop then $400.
They charge it twice, though, don't
Yeah, they charge you two tickets. One for the bus stop, which is 400, and one for the illegal parking, which is 98. So that became $498. And so that's why knowing the law is very, very important. Even over speeding, speed 25 miles or less than the speed limit, you will only pay the penalty of $480. Okay? However, if you speed more than 25 miles than the speed limit, it is already a what? It is no longer a misdemeanor. It is already considered a petty crime. So the police will not charge you 480. They will get your driver's license and you cannot drive for the next year or 2 years. Yes. And then they will confiscate your car. They will tow your car and put it in the safe place. And if you want to get your car, you will pay $2,500 to get your car. But again, somebody must get your car because you cannot get it. You cannot drive. They will cancel your license. So a single changed. Same situation, but just it differs by less than 25 miles and more than 25 miles. The same thing with business. Okay? I will give you an example of a Brazilian model. He's not actually a model when he came to the Philippines. He's just an ordinary Brazilian. But because when he came to the Philippines, he looked foreigner. You know, like he doesn't have this skin. He's not short. He has a nice body. He has muscles and all. And he's really tall. A modeling agent found him and asked him, do you want to be a model? And he said, yes. Okay. So they got him a work visa. Now he's a model. And then there's this underwear, you know, the underwear company. Because he has a very nice body, they want him to become the model for an underwear. And he signed a contract. The contract states that he will be paid 3 million pesos. That's basically $30,000. Hang on, sorry. 10. No, 3 million is not 30,000. Oh yeah, somewhere between $50,000 to $60,000. Okay, he will be paid $50,000 to $60,000, and the contract stipulates that his billboard will be posted for 1 year upon the signing of the contract. Okay, upon the signing of the contract. That's good for 1 year. After 1 year, the billboard must be taken out or his picture must be replaced. Otherwise, if the billboard still stands or his picture is still there, the company will pay him another $60,000. Okay? So he signed the contract, and this is the funny part. He signed the contract January 11, 2017. Okay? So that means up to January 11, 2018, the billboard will stay. Correct? And he will not be paid. I mean, he will be paid $60,000. Now, by January 12, if the billboard or his picture is still being used by the underwear company and his body is still on the billboard, the picture of his body is still on the billboard, the company will pay him another $60,000. Okay. And this is the interesting part. On January 11, 12 noon, the model went to the company, this Brazilian model. And he told the company, I want my $60,000. So, January 11, he came back and he said, you will have to pay me another $60,000 because the billboard is still on the street. I can still see my face. I can still see my body. You're still using my picture for the billboard. And the company said, no. The contract says 1 year. So that means if the billboard is still there tomorrow, then we will pay you. And he said, yeah, the contract says 1 year. It's already 1 year. And the company said, no, let me show you the contract. The contract says January 11, 2017. Today is January 11, 2018. Okay? It's not yet 1 year.
Finish in 2018.
After midnight.
So yeah, so it should be up to midnight, right?
Until midnight.
Until midnight.
Yeah.
But the model said, no, I should be getting my $60,000 now. It's been 1 year. And the company said, no, it's not. We're not going to pay you. So the model went to the lawyer. And the lawyer came, and the lawyer went with the model. They went back to the company at 4 o'clock in the afternoon before the underwear company will close, because most of the offices in the Philippines will close at 5 o'clock. And then they said, this is my lawyer. And the lawyer said, I am his lawyer. My client deserves $60,000. Another $60,000. And the company said, no, because tonight there will be people who will be removing his picture and they will change another picture of another model. So by midnight, definitely it will no longer be his picture. So definitely less than 1 year, we did not overuse his picture. We used his picture exactly for 1 year. And the lawyer said, no, you overuse his picture. You know why what happened? Remember what I said in the contract? Remember what it says in the contract? 1 year upon the what? Upon his sign, right? The model, which his name is Paulo also. When he signed his name Paulo, he write there the date. And he also write remember, the contract says 1 year upon signing. So that means he signed on January 11, 2017 at 8:17 a.m.
But this time it was in the contract? 8, 7.
He wrote it in the contract.
You wrote it this time?
Yes, when he signed the contract,
11 hour contract.
when he signed the contract, his signature, the date, and the time. So therefore, because the contract says 1 year upon signing of the contract, right? 1 year upon signing of the contract. So therefore, by January 11, 2018, 8:18 a.m., it's already 1 year. It's already more than 1 year. Correct? Did you understand? When Paulo signed, it was January 11, 2017 at 8:17 a.m. So by January 11, 2018 at 8:18 a.m., the contract is more than 1 year. So January 11, 2018 at 12:25 noontime, Paulo went to the office of the underwear company and said, I must be paid another $60,000. Paulo was very lucky to have a lawyer friend who told him that. Write your name, write your signature, write the date, and write the time. It was very smart. Because sometimes people don't care about the time, they just care about the date. So what happened to the company? The company expected that they will not pay Paulo $60,000 because they already have a new model, they already have a new poster, they already have a new picture, they already have a new billboard. But what happened? The company paid extra $60,000 to Paulo. Now, as the company, did you expect to spend that money? No, you did not expect to spend that money. So what do you call that? In your financials. In your financials, you have income and you have loss. Where will you go? Where will that 60,000 go? It will go to the loss. Just because of the time that Paulo wrote in the contract. Of course, the lawyer gets 30%. The lawyer gets 30%. So how much did the lawyer get? $18,000? $18,000. Yeah. So Paulo did not get the $60,000. He only got 42 because his lawyer got 30%. But you know, like, who would give you another $40,000? just for wearing an underwear and posing and taking a picture. I think I can find you that underwear. Hang on. Hmm?
Maybe this company will not contract with
No, it is, the company will contract him still, but it is a lesson learned for the company, you know? So I'm not sure if the company fired the legal team to do that one, but so he is still getting a lot of work. Let me show you. He changed his name. I know he's Brazilian Japanese. His name is Paulo Daniel Matsunaga, but so that's him.
you can see.
You can see? There you go. So that's the smart Brazilian. I mean, he's smart because his lawyer told him to be smart. So that's him. Is he a common face in Brazil? No. Would he be considered as a like a above average good looking person in Brazil? Hmm? Okay. So therefore, business law is important because apart from the legal framework, it also protects your company from risk. Okay? And it does not only protect your company from risk, it also protects your consumers. Okay? That's why contracts are very, very important, and fine prints in the contracts are also very important. Okay? And most of you, when you sign a contract, sometimes you don't read it. Right? Yes or no? You know, that is the importance of contracts. You need to read it because there may be a fine print in the contract that you cannot say no after and you already signed. Okay? Okay. So what are the sources of business law? Okay. The business law is not just any policy that the company will create for the business. Okay? You cannot say that, oh, I am the owner of this company. This will be my laws. This will be my policy. These will be my regulation. I am the owner of the company. No, you cannot. The policy, the regulation, the rules in your company must be based on these three. The constitutional basis, okay? Because if you have a policy in your company that is against the Constitution, your company can be shut down and you can be banned from creating another business. Statutory law. These are laws enacted by the federal or by the state or by the city, the local legislature, such as the Sherman Antitrust Act and the Securities Act, okay? And of course, the common law, which are the legal precedents established by court decisions, contribute to the body of business law. So for example, I forgot your name, sorry. Felipe. Felipe thinks that, oh, I don't want to hire Latinos in my business. because I want to be the only Latino in my business. Okay? Now, Felipe put up a statement. Let's just say, what's the company of Felipe? Felipe Shipping. Okay, he has a shipping business. Wow, big business. Felipe Shipping is looking for a boat captain. Must be a licensed commercial boat or shipped captain. Must have at least 5 years of experience. Must be a Catholic. Must be 5 feet 10 inches tall. Must not be Latino. No blacks. And must be able to speak English and French and Arabic very well. Now, what's wrong with that advertising? Huh? That's against the law. And what could happen to Felipe? He can get a penalty or he can get his business closed. And then he will be stopped from owning or opening a new business. Why? Because under the Constitution, under the Constitution, people should be given equal opportunities in the United States, regardless of religion, regardless of gender, regardless of color, regardless of race, regardless of background. So if you're going to say the person must be at least 5 feet 10 inches tall, that's already discrimination for people who are shorter than 5 feet 10. Like, what if I'm only 5'5", but I have 5 years experience or 6 years experience in driving a ship? I have completed the full license ship captain. So that means you will not give me the chance to work for you just because I am shorter than 5'10". So there is already discrimination. What if I'm black and you say you don't want black people? So that is already discrimination. So now that is why when you create your policies, when you create your regulations, it must be based on the 3 standard laws: the Constitution, okay, the federal or state laws, and then the common laws. Okay, I will give you an example. Who here is a Jehovah's Witness? Jehovah's Witness? Anyone here? Do you have them in Brazil too, like members of the congregation? Okay. Now, there is a university in Pomona. You know where Pomona is, right? So there is a big university in Pomona. It is owned and run by Jehovah's Witness. Okay. Now, I know they cannot put it in their fine prints and they cannot say it that they will only accept professors that are Jehovah's Witness.
They don't accept.
Hmm?
They don't accept.
I know they don't accept. Okay. But they cannot write about it. They cannot tell anything. So that's why when they advertise, for example, I will not name the university. Let's just say, for example, WCU is the name of the university. Okay? This is the only announcement that they will write. That they are looking for a business professor who, with 10 years experience, who has a PhD or a doctorate in business with published research. Because these are the things that are required for you to become a qualified business professor, right? And then they will say, preferably bilingual. Okay? So that means it's not discriminating because it's not a required criterion for the professor, but they prefer. Okay? And then they will add another one. Okay. Is that illegal? No. Because they put the word preferably. That means they don't require it. It's not necessary. But of course, they prefer. That will be very, very racist if preferably white. Okay. So they just put it that way. And the reason why some private, let's go to the word private. Preferably, you will never find it in government offices. Okay? Preferably, you will never find preferably in government or local businesses. I mean, local offices. Because the government cannot discriminate. You will most likely find them in private businesses. Okay. And because they need to justify it. For example, if I am a professor of science and I am not a Jehovah's Witness, okay? If I will teach science to a group of students Jehovah's Witness, I would normally say that, oh, blood transfusion is one of the safest and most effective way of saving a patient who has leukemia. Right? Because I am a professor of science and I believe that it is science. Well, based on scientific research, blood transfusion is really one of the most effective and one of the most useful and helpful ways to help save a patient with leukemia. Correct? But that would be going against the teachings of Jehovah's Witness. Yes. Because Jehovah's Witness, they don't allow blood transfusion. They don't allow, what else? They don't allow a lot of medical procedures.
I think big valve, the heart,
Yes.
like that.
So,
Small artery.
yes. And even the, like for example, you know that we have liver transplants, heart transplants, to save people and extend their lives longer. They don't allow that. So that's why it's very challenging to many hospitals if there is a patient who is a Jehovah's Witness. Because if the patient is unconscious, that means the patient cannot decide and cannot think for himself. And if they need to save the patient, and what if the patient already lost a lot of blood? Right? It is the duty of the people in the hospital to save the patient. And if the patient already lost a lot of blood, the automatic reaction or the automatic solution of every trauma nurse or trauma doctor is to infuse blood. Correct? Especially if the patient is unconscious. Now, a lot of cases happen that the family of the patient filed a case against the hospital for infusing blood to the patient without asking permission from the family members. And they don't allow blood transfusion. That is against their religious practice. So, how can we help these cases? As a business, how can you protect your hospital with these kind of cases? If you let the patients die, we don't know. Maybe the family can also file a case against you for malpractice because you let the patient die. Yeah, but that is a problem. But because what if you only have 2 minutes window of saving the patient? Do you want to use your 2 minutes calling the family and ask permission? Can we transfuse blood so that your son will survive? That's why many hospitals now, they are being covered by the, I forgot the name of that law, that because they need to save the patient, they will have to exercise what is necessary and what is priority to save the patient. Religious and cultural preferences will follow after. If the patient was awake, then they should need the consent of the patient. But if the patient is not capable of thinking and making a decision, then they should consult the family. But if they do not have the time to consult anyone, then they must exercise first the duty, which is to save the patient. Now that is the thing. Now without that contract, without that law, you cannot protect your hospital business too. Okay? So when you create that hospital business, you make sure that your that's why when you open a hospital, you need to file a lot of documents. It's not easy. Like when you open a nursing program, any school that is offering a nursing program or a medicine program, they went through a lot of contracts and papers and documents because they need to protect their business, they need to protect their school, they need to protect the students, and they need to protect the hospital and the consumers. So that's the purpose of why you have business law. It's not just to protect your business, it's not just to protect you, but also to protect your consumers. Where are we? Okay, let's continue. Okay, now, the business law and business policies is not a one-size-fits-all t-shirt. You know, like if Paulo has one t-shirt, it will fit Vanessa, and it will fit Louisa, and it will fit Felipe. No, it's not. Okay? Every type of business is governed by specific kinds of laws. For example, there's sole proprietorship, which means there's only one owner. Partnerships, wherein there could be 2, 3, or 4 owners. And corporations, where there are a lot of owners. Wherein people invest, put money together. And so they have either equal shares or someone has a bigger share. Now, the bigger the business is, or the more people involved, the more complicated the laws. So if you don't want a lot of headache, you might as well just open a business and you are the only owner. If there's only one owner, simple, easy, simple laws. Okay? The more owners, the more laws, the more complication, the more difficult to handle and run the business. It will be like Game of Thrones. Especially if you and your business, because it happens, you know? It happens to a lot of corporations. For example, the 6 of you are good friends. You decided, okay, let's start a business. You put up money, you put up money, you put up money, you put up money. You made a very good business. You made the business grow very, very big. And then eventually, you are old, you cannot think anymore, you had dementia, so you had to step down. She died, her son would step in. Paolo would be like,
Spending too much money.
has schizophrenia. No, I'm just joking. So these things happen when you grow old, right? You know. So when you started it, it was very good because you're all good friends. But by the time that you step down because you are too old or you died, and the next generation, your heirs, you know, your son or daughters, step into the business, they have another agenda. They have another desire. They're not friends with your daughter's friends. They're not friends with your son's friends. So maybe they want to take over the business. They want to take full control of the business. Maybe they do not like each other the way you liked each other. So in that way, the business will become chaotic. Even sole proprietorship. I put up my own business. I am the only owner of that business. It went very well. And then all of a sudden, I'm too old. I want my son to take care of the business. Now my son has a different view. He wants the business to go this way. So it can be very, very challenging. And that's what I've said. The more heads, the more people in the business, the more complicated. I want you to, as much as possible, like read issues of either family businesses that were very successful at the start, and then eventually it became very problematic when the children or the grandchildren took over. Or if you can find real life or real examples of corporations that started very well and now they're shaky because the board members or the owners are no longer aligned with each other. Okay? It's not an assignment. I just want you to read and learn from it. And then we will discuss it next meeting. Okay? And then we will find out how does the law safeguard the business, or how is the law being used in favor of someone else. I don't know in the setting in Brazil or in Colombia or in Japan. I know in Korea a lot of these things happen wherein one family member becomes very smart and finds a little mistake in the law, and eventually he became the full time owner of the business. Even the grandfather who started the business lost his power and control of the business. This happened in a Korean, what do you call them? Um, there is a name for those people, like in Korea. Uh, you know the children of the rich businessmen? Chaebol. Chaebol? Do you call them chaebol? Yeah, like nepo babies. You know, like if your father is a very very rich chair, so going to you're expected to take over in the future. You're called chaebol, chaebol, chaebol. Yes. So it happened in Korea. It also happened in the Philippines, wherein business owners has the largest shares. So he makes all the decisions because he has the largest shares. The other he use the law to file a case so that they can control the but eventually the law the power to control the business. So I need situations in that way so that the law is being used to protect the business or how the law is being all of the business. Law. Okay, so that's it for this afternoon. I mean, for this evening. And then I just want you to continue reading. I will be posting the second week later this week, okay? And as usual, I will not give you homeworks, no assignments, no quizzes. I will just give you one midterm and one final. Yes,
How can we have access to the slides?
it's in the LMS.
Like this, it's not appearing on.
Oh, it's not appearing?
No. It's the same. My stage is the same.
You are the MBA in the MBA, right? Okay, let me share it to the MBA. Sorry, MBA people, I forgot. No homework. Let me see. So,
Can you check mine too?
hmm?
Can you check mine too?
Yeah. No problem. No, that's okay. Yeah. Okay, MBA students, can you please refresh your LMS and double check? Bye bye. You can see it now? Okay. Bye bye.
I believe that I am not submitting the online class cryptography.
Which online class?
The cryptography,
Oh,
because I cannot see anything other than my online class.
send me an email and I'll update your status. Okay? You're welcome. See you next week.
I cannot see the.
Hang on, just give me a second.